Not pain exactly, not stiffness, just a kind of heaviness, a quiet resistance. Like your body's whispering, hold on, I'm not what I used to be. Before we get started, I'd love to know where you're joining me from today. Drop a comment below and feel free to ask any questions you have. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a health-boosting tip from Elders Guidance. You pause. You wonder, when did it get harder to stand up from the couch? When did carrying the groceries feel like lifting weights? When did walking up a flight of stairs leave you catching your breath? Not because you're out of shape, but because something deeper feels missing? Here's the truth. If any of this sounds familiar, it's not just aging. It's not just how life goes after 60. It's something that many of us don't talk about, and even fewer of us realize is happening. You see, every day, thousands of older adults across the country are losing muscle strength. Not in dramatic, noticeable ways, but quietly, slowly, in the background of everyday life. And here's the part that might surprise you. It's not only about getting older, it's about what we're eating, what we're drinking, and the habits we've trusted for years. At Elders Guidance, we believe strength doesn't fade with age, it fades with neglect. And today, we're going to uncover 5 everyday habits hidden in plain sight that might be quietly weakening your body, stealing your energy, and putting your independence at risk. But more importantly, we'll show you how to turn it all around. Small changes, big impact. So if you're ready to protect your strength, reclaim your energy, and take control of your health, stay with us. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and let's walk this journey together. Because aging isn't the end of strength, it's the beginning of wisdom, and wisdom makes you powerful. Think back to your morning today. Maybe you sat down at the kitchen table with sunlight pouring through the window, just like you've done for years. You toasted a couple slices of that soft white bread. Maybe you added a little butter, a swipe of jam. There might have been a warm mug of coffee on the side. It felt comforting, familiar, a ritual you've performed 1,000 times. But what if that quiet moment of comfort is quietly costing you your strength? Here's something most people don't realize. The foods we often start our day with, the ones that feel the most harmless, can be the very things undermining our muscles and our energy levels as we age. White bread, muffins, pancakes, breakfast pastries. These refined carbohydrates are everywhere. They're quick, convenient, and they taste great. But here's what happens inside your body, especially after 50. These foods are made from highly processed flour, stripped of the fiber, vitamins, and minerals that make whole grains beneficial. What's left is a fast-burning carbohydrate that turns into sugar in your bloodstream almost immediately. And each time that happens, your body is forced to release a wave of insulin to manage the spike in blood sugar. Now that might not sound like a big deal, but imagine it happening day after day, year after year. Those repeated sugar spikes create low-level inflammation throughout your body. You might not feel it, but it's there. And inflammation is like rust to a machine. It slowly wears down muscle fibers, weakens tissue, and blocks your body from absorbing and using the protein you eat. That means even if you're trying to eat more chicken or eggs later in the day, your body might not be getting the full benefit. And here's where it gets even more frustrating. As muscle mass starts to decline, you may not notice right away. It doesn't happen in dramatic ways. Instead, you might feel a little more tired after walking upstairs. You might have trouble lifting your carry-on luggage. You might avoid certain chores around the house. Not because you can't do them, but because they feel harder than they used to. And yet, you might be gaining weight. That's the trap. These empty carbs don't build muscle. They feed fat. So your scale might be creeping up even as your strength quietly slips away. But let's be clear, this isn't about blame. It's about awareness. And once you understand what's happening, you can take steps to change it. The good news is, you don't have to give up bread or pancakes forever. You just have to make smarter choices. Start by switching to 100% whole grain or sprouted grain bread. These options still contain fiber, which helps slow digestion and stabilize blood sugar. Look for breads with seeds, oats, or ancient grains. Not only do they support better blood sugar control, they also help reduce inflammation and provide essential nutrients your muscles crave. Love your pancakes? Make them with almond flour, oats, or even mashed bananas and eggs. It's simpler than you think, and your body will thank you for it. Pair your morning carbs with lean protein and healthy fats. Try scrambled eggs with spinach and avocado. Greek yogurt with berries and chia seeds. Even a smoothie with protein powder, frozen greens, and nut butter can be a complete muscle-supporting breakfast. And remember, this isn't about giving up your favorite foods. It's about giving your body the tools it needs to stay strong, energized, and capable. You've built a life. You've raised families, built careers, overcome obstacles. You deserve to move through each day with energy and confidence. And that begins with breakfast. Here's your first small challenge. For the next 3 mornings, skip the white bread. Choose a real whole food breakfast. Watch how your body responds. You might notice more energy, better digestion, fewer cravings, stronger steps. Because every meal is a chance to nourish not just your hunger, but your strength. And when you start your day with intention, everything that follows becomes easier. For as long as you can remember, orange juice has been part of a healthy breakfast. Maybe it still sits on your table every morning. That bright, sweet glass of sunshine. It feels refreshing, uplifting, even nostalgic. But here's the truth. That glass of juice, so familiar, so trusted, might be silently working against your strength, your energy, and even your clarity of mind. Let's take a moment to think about it. You peel an orange. You eat it slowly. 1, maybe 2. You feel full, satisfied, grounded. But in a single glass of orange juice, you're drinking the sugar from 3, 4, sometimes 5 oranges all at once. And what's missing? The fiber. That vital part of the fruit that slows down digestion, that helps regulate blood sugar, that tells your body, hey, I've had enough. Without that fiber, juice becomes sugar water. It may come from fruit, but your body reacts to it like it's candy. Within minutes of drinking it, your blood sugar spikes. Your pancreas sends out insulin to manage the rush. And just like with refined carbs, this roller coaster, up, down, crash, repeat, creates inflammation in the body. That inflammation doesn't just affect your joints or digestion. It weakens your muscles, silently, persistently. Even more concerning is the kind of sugar in juice, fructose. Fructose is primarily processed by your liver, and when you consume it in excess, like in a tall glass of orange juice every morning, your liver becomes overwhelmed. It starts converting the sugar into fat. This can lead to a condition known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is shockingly common among older adults. But more than that, this process generates inflammation that spreads throughout your body, including your muscles. And here's the part that often gets overlooked. Fructose doesn't send a signal to your brain that you're full. You drink the juice. You feel a quick burst. But then, the crash comes. You're hungry again. You reach for a muffin, a piece of toast, another quick fix. It becomes a cycle of overconsumption and undernourishment. And while this may sound dramatic, it's happening in homes across the country every single day. Now someone might say, isn't it better than soda? And yes, in terms of vitamins maybe, but the sugar load, it's not that different. And over time, your muscles, your metabolism, and your mind start to feel the difference. You may notice it as brain fog in the afternoon, as fatigue sets in quicker than it used to, as difficulty bouncing back after a simple activity. You might even feel less emotionally steady, because blood sugar swings don't just affect your body, they affect your mood. But just like before, this isn't about guilt. It's about empowerment. Because you don't have to give up flavor. You don't have to give up refreshment. You just have to get a little more creative and a lot more intentional. Instead of fruit juice, try blending whole fruits into a smoothie. Use the pulp. Use the skin when possible. Include low fructose berries like strawberries, blueberries, or blackberries. Add leafy greens for minerals, a spoon of flax or chia seeds for fiber, and a healthy fat like almond butter or avocado. This isn't just a drink. It's muscle fuel, brain food. Real nourishment that supports your energy, not just for an hour, but for your whole day. And if you still crave something light and refreshing in the morning, a glass of water with lemon, mint, or cucumber can do wonders. Herbal teas like ginger, peppermint, or rooibos not only hydrate, but calm inflammation and support digestion. It might feel strange at first to break a habit you've had for decades, but give yourself 3 days, just 3 mornings without fruit juice. Try a smoothie, try tea, try water with lemon and a pinch of sea salt, and watch how your body responds. You may notice more sustained energy, fewer crashes, a clearer head, a more even mood. And if you're paying attention, you may feel your muscles thanking you in small, quiet ways. So here's your second small challenge. For the next 3 days, skip the juice. Try a whole food smoothie instead. Add 1 new anti-inflammatory ingredient each morning. Then come back here and tell us what changed. Because your habits don't define you, your choices do. And every time you choose nourishment over nostalgia, you move one step closer to a stronger, more energized you. If you enjoyed this video, comment 1 to let me know. If not, comment 2. Your thought mattered to me either way. For many of us, lunch is a routine. Simple, quick, familiar. A sandwich with ham or turkey, maybe some cheese, a pickle on the side. You've been doing it for years, maybe even decades. It feels like a safe, balanced meal. But what if that sandwich, that sliced deli meat you reach for without thinking, is quietly working against your health? Let's talk about processed meats, cold cuts, salami, bacon, sausages, canned meats. These foods are designed to be convenient. They're easy, they last a long time in the fridge, and they make you feel like you're eating something hearty. But beneath that convenience is a hidden cost, one that your muscles are quietly paying every single day. Here's what's really going on. Most processed meats are packed with chemical preservatives, especially nitrates and nitrites. These chemicals are used to preserve color, enhance flavor, and extend shelf life. But when they enter your body, they don't just sit there, they react. They create something called oxidative stress, a damaging process where unstable molecules start attacking healthy cells. And your muscles, they're on the front lines. Oxidative stress breaks down muscle tissue slowly, but consistently. It disrupts the way your body repairs itself. It interferes with recovery after activity, and over time it contributes to the gradual loss of strength that many older adults chalk up to just getting older. But that's not the only problem. These meats are also loaded with saturated fats, and in lower quality options, even trans fats. These fats clog your blood vessels, making it harder for oxygen and nutrients to reach your muscles. Without proper circulation, your muscles fatigue faster, heal slower, and lose tone and mass over time. And then there's the salt. Processed meats are incredibly high in sodium. That might not seem like a big deal until you realize what it does inside your body. Excess sodium draws water out of your tissues. It dehydrates you, even if you don't feel thirsty. And when your muscles are dehydrated, they cramp, stiffen, and become more prone to injury. So if you've been feeling more tired during your walks, if your legs feel heavy after standing in the kitchen, if your arms ache after lifting groceries, it might not just be age. It might be what's on your plate. Let's take a moment to compare. A slice of deli ham might have some protein, but it's also filled with preservatives, additives, and filler starches that dilute the quality of that protein. In contrast, a piece of grilled chicken or a boiled egg provides clean, complete protein that your muscles recognize and can actually use. You've worked too hard to let convenience sabotage your health. The good news is, you don't need to give up flavor or satisfaction. You just need to rethink where your protein comes from. Start simple. Instead of a cold-cut sandwich, try a tuna salad on whole grain crackers. Swap the bacon in your breakfast with a veggie omelet topped with avocado. Roast a tray of chicken breasts or thighs at the beginning of the week and store them in your fridge. You'll have quick access to high-quality protein without the added junk. Love meat. Explore the power of seafood. Salmon, mackerel, sardines. They're not just protein powerhouses. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids that actively reduce inflammation and support muscle repair. And don't forget about plant-based proteins. Lentils, chickpeas, quinoa, tofu, almonds. When paired correctly, these foods give your body all the amino acids it needs to build and maintain strength. The key here isn't perfection, it's awareness. It's understanding that the little things, the slice of ham here, the sausage patty there, can quietly add up over time. And just like your strength, your energy can return with one better choice at a time. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight. You just need to start noticing, start choosing, start replacing. Here's a powerful place to begin. Open your fridge today. Look at the proteins inside. Ask yourself, is this feeding my strength or stealing it? Then take action. Even just one meal. Try grilling a piece of salmon with lemon and herbs. Make a big batch of lentil soup to freeze for easy lunches. Or hard boil a few eggs and keep them in the fridge for an easy snack. And here's a thought to hold close. Your time, your energy, your body are worth more than shortcuts. Your meals don't need to be complicated. They just need to be real. Because your muscles aren't just about movement. They're about independence, confidence, your ability to live on your own terms. And you deserve that freedom, not just now, but for the years ahead. So let's make a promise together. From today forward, we don't settle for protein that poisons. We choose nourishment that builds, because the strength you build now is the strength that will carry you forward. through adventures, through grandchildren, through all the life you still have left to live. You've probably heard it 1,000 times. Eat your greens, and it's great advice. Leafy vegetables are packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that support everything from heart health to brain function. They're a symbol of vitality, of nourishment, of doing something right for your body. But what if even the healthiest foods can backfire if we don't prepare them right? Let's talk about spinach. It's practically the poster child for healthy eating. Rich in iron, magnesium, calcium, and vitamin K. It's no wonder people add handfuls to smoothies, pile it onto sandwiches, and make giant raw salads every day. But here's what most people don't know. Eating too much raw spinach, especially daily, can actually interfere with the very nutrients your muscles and bones need most. Why? It comes down to a naturally occurring compound inside spinach called oxalates, or oxalic acid. Oxalates have a unique property. They bind to minerals, specifically calcium and magnesium. And once bound, those minerals can't be absorbed by your body. They just pass through, wasted. And when this happens over and over again, your body can fall into a state of silent deficiency, even if you think you're eating all the right things. Now think about what calcium and magnesium do. They're essential for muscle contraction, endurance, and recovery. They help your muscles move smoothly, your nerves fire properly, and your heart beat steadily. Without them, fatigue creeps in, cramping becomes more frequent. Tasks that were once easy begin to feel harder. But that's not all. Over time, high oxalate intake can also lead to kidney stones, a painful condition that becomes more common as we age. These stones form when oxalates bind with calcium in your kidneys, creating crystals that are not only painful but dangerous to long-term kidney health. And there's another layer. Oxalates don't just block mineral absorption. They also interfere with ATP production, ATP being the primary molecule your muscles use for energy. When ATP production is slowed, so is your strength, your stamina, and your ability to recover after activity. So if you've been adding raw spinach to every smoothie, every salad, every meal thinking, I'm doing something great for myself, don't worry, you're not alone. This is one of the most common health missteps, especially among people who are trying to eat better later in life. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up spinach. You just need to prepare it smarter. Here's how to fix it. 1. Cook it lightly. Boiling or steaming spinach for even a few minutes can reduce its oxalate content by up to 40%. And when you drain off the cooking water, most of the oxalates go with it. What you're left with is a still delicious, nutrient-dense green that your body can actually absorb and benefit from. 2. Pair it wisely. When you do eat raw spinach, balance it out with foods rich in bioavailable calcium and magnesium. Think low-fat dairy, tofu, tahini, sesame seeds, or almonds. These combinations can help counteract the oxalate binding effect and give your body a better shot at mineral absorption. 3. Rotate your greens. Spinach isn't the only leafy green out there. There's a whole garden of options. Kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, mustard greens, arugula, butter lettuce, and romaine, all offering unique benefits with much lower oxalate levels. Rotating your greens helps your body get a broader range of nutrients and reduces the burden of oxalates over time. Think of it this way. Your muscles need diversity, not just in movement, but in nourishment too. Here's something powerful you can try this week. Create your own Green Week plan. Challenge yourself to include 7 different greens over the next 7 days. 1 each day. Lightly steamed, sautéed, blended, or raw with smart pairings. This simple change introduces variety, reduces oxalate overload, and gives your muscles the nutrient mix they've been missing. And it's not just about nutrients, it's about the mindset of discovery. Trying new flavors, breaking old routines, and making health feel exciting, not restrictive. So here's what to take with you. Spinach is still a superfood, but even superfoods need to be treated with care. Too much of a good thing, prepared the wrong way, can quietly set you back. But when you learn the how behind the what, your body gets to thrive. Stronger, clearer, more energized. Every meal is an opportunity, not just to eat, but to build, to support, to heal. So the next time you reach for those leafy greens, take a second look. Ask yourself, how can I make this meal not just healthy, but muscle-friendly too? Because your strength doesn't come from one ingredient. It comes from wisdom, from attention, from intention, and the choices you make today are shaping the strength you'll carry tomorrow. Linda loved her quiet morning coffee. It was her ritual. Every day at 7 a.m., before the world truly woke up, she would pour herself a cup, sit by the window, and enjoy the silence. It wasn't just a drink, it was her moment of peace, something that felt entirely her own. But as time went on, she noticed something. By early afternoon, her energy would drop, not just a little, but a full body crash. Her muscles ached more. Her thoughts felt cloudier. She started relying on a second cup, then sometimes a third. And yet, the more coffee she drank, the more tired she felt. What was happening? If this sounds even remotely familiar, you're not alone. Coffee is one of the most deeply ingrained habits we carry through life. And in many ways, it's not the enemy. In moderation, coffee can be uplifting. It's packed with antioxidants. It sharpens focus. It can even support brain health. But here's the catch. As we age, our bodies respond to caffeine differently. What once gave us energy and mental clarity can begin to rob us of something far more precious: our strength, our sleep, and our emotional balance. Let's break this down. First, there's the issue of mineral depletion. Caffeine is a natural diuretic, which means it increases how much fluid your body eliminates. That might not seem like a problem until you realize what's leaving with that fluid. Essential minerals like calcium, magnesium, and potassium, all of which are vital for healthy muscle function, are flushed out more rapidly when caffeine intake is high. And without those minerals, your muscles suffer. You might notice it as cramps in your legs, twitching in your eyelids, a general heaviness or fatigue after doing something light. These aren't just getting older. They're signs your muscles are undernourished and undersupported. Now let's talk about cortisol. Cortisol is your body's primary stress hormone. It's useful in short bursts. It helps you wake up, respond to danger, or power through a tough moment. But when cortisol is elevated too often, it starts to do damage. Drinking coffee, especially on an empty stomach, spikes your cortisol levels. And if you're already under stress, emotionally, physically, or mentally, that cortisol spike hits even harder. Here's the problem. Cortisol breaks down muscle tissue. It tells your body to convert muscle protein into quick energy. It slows recovery. It interferes with repair. And over time, it contributes to muscle loss. So while you think you're giving your body energy with that morning coffee, you may actually be chipping away at the very strength you're trying to preserve. And then there's sleep. This is a big one. Most people assume that if they fall asleep fine, caffeine isn't an issue. But caffeine doesn't just affect how you fall asleep. It affects how deeply you sleep. You see, your body does its most important repair work, especially for muscles, during deep sleep. This is when growth hormone is released. It's when tissues are rebuilt, inflammation is reduced, and your energy reserves are restored. But caffeine, especially if consumed in the afternoon or evening, can shorten your deep sleep cycles. You might still sleep for 7 hours, but it won't feel restful. And when recovery is interrupted night after night, your muscles can't keep up. You may wake up feeling stiff, drained, unmotivated, and worse. You may think this is just what aging feels like, but it doesn't have to be. Because on top of all that, caffeine also affects your mood, your blood pressure, and your emotional resilience. For many older adults, high caffeine intake has been linked to increased anxiety, irritability, and spikes in blood pressure. That gentle morning habit may be placing quiet stress on your heart, your nerves, and your outlook, without you even realizing it. So what can you do? You don't need to give up coffee completely. That's not the point. But cutting back, even slightly, can make a huge difference. Here's your challenge. Try cutting your coffee by half for the next 7 days. If you drink 2 cups a day, switch to 1. If you drink 1 large mug, try a smaller one. And if you're drinking coffee into the afternoon, cut it off by noon. Notice what happens. You may feel a little sluggish for a day or 2. That's normal. But by day 3 or 4, you might start noticing fewer muscle cramps, more stable energy throughout the day, better sleep at night, less tension in your shoulders and jaw, a greater sense of calm and clarity. You can also experiment with delicious, nourishing alternatives that still offer warmth, flavor, and even a little energy, without the crash. Try these gentle swaps. Mushroom coffee, made with medicinal mushrooms like lion's mane or chaga, which support cognitive function and immune health without the jittery spike. Dandelion root tea, rich in minerals, naturally detoxifying, and supportive of digestion and liver health. Golden milk, a warm blend of turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and milk or plant-based milk. Anti-inflammatory, soothing, and grounding. And don't forget water. Many people drink coffee all morning and forget to hydrate. A single cup of warm lemon water before your coffee can balance your system, reduce acidity, and support kidney and muscle function. Small shifts, big returns. Because ultimately, this isn't about denying yourself comfort. It's about choosing the kind of comfort that supports your body, your mood, your energy. Not just for today, but for years to come. So before you reach for that second cup tomorrow, pause. Ask yourself, is this helping me feel stronger or just getting me through the next hour? That awareness alone is powerful, and the choice that follows, even more so, because you still deserve your morning ritual. You still deserve warmth in your hands and peace in your heart. But now, you can have all that without sacrificing your strength to get there. Let's take a moment to reflect. You've just uncovered 5 everyday habits, so ordinary, so familiar, that might be quietly weakening your body. And now, you see them differently. You've learned that white bread, as soft and innocent as it seems, can ignite inflammation and drain your strength. You've seen how that morning glass of orange juice, so full of sweetness, can flood your system with sugar, leaving your muscles starving for nourishment. You've looked inside your fridge and found that those convenient slices of ham or turkey might be loaded with chemicals that sabotage the very strength you're trying to preserve. You've discovered that even spinach, yes, spinach, can work against you if eaten raw in excess, quietly blocking the minerals your muscles desperately need. And you've realized that coffee, that cozy companion each morning, can pull minerals from your body, spike stress hormones, and steal the rest your muscles depend on to rebuild. But here's the truth that matters most. You're not stuck, you're not too late, and you're not too old to change. Because this journey isn't about perfection, it's about intention. Small, consistent, meaningful changes. That's the path forward. So let's look at those habits again, this time through the lens of empowerment. Instead of white bread, you choose whole grains that fuel and protect. Instead of fruit juice, you blend whole fruits, fiber, seeds, and all for a drink your muscles will thank you for. Instead of cold cuts, you prepare real proteins, roasted chicken, boiled eggs, salmon, or lentil soup that nourish from the inside out. Instead of raw spinach every day, you rotate your greens, steam when needed, and pair with foods that help your body absorb every nutrient. And instead of reaching for more coffee, you become more mindful. You hydrate, you rest, you try golden milk or herbal teas that calm instead of overstimulate. You're not just removing what's harmful, you're choosing what heals, what strengthens, what sustains. Because here's something we don't hear enough. Even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, you're still building, still growing. Your muscles are listening. Your body is adapting. Your future is being shaped by what you do right now. You don't need to chase youth. You need to protect strength. And strength, real strength, comes from the inside out. So the question now is, what will you do with what you know? Because your muscle future isn't out of reach. It's in your hands. You've made it through an eye-opening journey. You've explored the silent habits that many people never question. You've learned how subtle, everyday choices can chip away at your strength or rebuild it. But now, more than anything else, you've been given something more powerful than facts. You've been given clarity. Clarity that your body is not broken, that your fatigue is not inevitable, that the decline you felt creeping in isn't just aging. It's changeable. It's reversible. It's something you can influence, starting today. And I want you to hold on to this. This is your moment. Not yesterday, not someday. Right now, your body is still listening. Every meal, every sip, every step, it's paying attention. It's waiting for your lead. And if today has helped you see that, even a little, then imagine what the days ahead could look like when you put this knowledge into action. Imagine standing up with ease, climbing the stairs without pause, feeling lighter in your legs, clearer in your mind, calmer in your heart. This isn't a fantasy. This is your future, if you decide to create it. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to do it alone. You have a community right here at Elders Guidance. Every week we bring you truth-backed wisdom, rooted in science, shaped by real-life stories, and always crafted with care. So you can stay strong, stay independent, and stay vibrant in every chapter of life. So if today's message spoke to you, if it made you rethink something you do without even noticing, if it made you feel inspired, curious, or even just seen, please share it. Share it with someone you love, a spouse, a friend, a neighbor, because chances are they've felt that same heaviness in their legs, that same afternoon crash, that same quiet question, what's happening to me? And maybe they just need to hear what you heard today. Maybe this video is their moment too. And if you haven't yet, I invite you, genuinely, to subscribe. Subscribe to Elders Guidance for weekly videos that lift you up, educate you, and remind you you're not just aging, you're evolving. And you're not alone on this path. We are walking it with you, step by step. So let's keep going. Let's keep learning. Let's keep choosing what strengthens us, not just in body, but in mindset. Because strong isn't just about how much you can lift. It's not about a number on a scale. It's not about looking younger or doing what you used to. Strong is about waking up with purpose. It's about having the energy to do the things that bring you joy. It's about living with clarity, balance, and the quiet power that comes from knowing you're taking care of yourself. Strong is a mindset. And you, my friend, already have everything it takes to live it fully. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And above all, thank you for believing that your health is worth fighting for. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, let's grow stronger together. If you enjoyed this video, comment 1 to let me know. If not, comment 2. Your thought matters to me either way.